Part 1. Texts that trigger curiosity. Have you ever sent her a message and then just sat there staring at your phone, waiting, only to get a dry "yeah" in return, or worse, complete silence? At first you stay calm, but a few minutes later your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Was I too much? And eventually you send another message. Not because you have something else to say, but just to break the silence, just to feel seen. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many men fall into this cycle. They try to connect, they try to show they care. They say nice things, but instead of pulling her closer, they feel her drifting away. Why? Because they forget something crucial. Women don't respond because you said the right thing. They respond because you made them feel something. And one of the most powerful emotions you can awaken, especially at the start, is curiosity. Think about it. When you see a movie trailer that teases something unexpected, you have to click. When someone says, "I know something about you that you don't," your brain locks on. You need to know more. You can't just walk away. Curiosity is a natural psychological hook. It puts your brain in search mode, like a loop that needs closure. But here's where most guys mess it up. They send texts like, "How was your day? What are you up to this weekend? Hope you're having a nice morning." Polite? Sure. Memorable? Not even close. These are the texts that blend into the background noise, the kind she scrolls past without a second thought. Now compare those with, "I just realized something pretty fascinating about you. You showed up in my dream last night, in the strangest way. Something today reminded me of you, and I can't explain why." See the difference? Just a few words, and suddenly you've opened a mental loop. There's a question floating in her mind. A mystery begging to be solved, and that's exactly where you want her attention to be. Here's the principle: the more space you leave, the more someone wants to fill it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not necessary, do not say it." When it comes to texting, that means this: you don't need to say everything, you just need to say something that matters. Here's a simple but powerful tool. Don't tell the whole story. Invite her into it. Try this: "I saw something today that made me think of you. Wanna guess what it was?" And when she replies, don't give the answer away. Keep the rhythm. Say, "I'll tell you, but let me ask you this first. Do you ever get the weird feeling that someone pops into your head right before something unusual happens?" Now she's not just replying, she's engaged. She's sharing, and that's how real connection begins. Most men text to fill space. But the man who understands psychology, he creates space and lets her choose to walk into it. Because when you spark curiosity the right way, you don't need 5 texts to hold her attention. You just need one at the right moment, and it will make her stop, think, and want more. And let's be clear, this isn't a trick, it's awareness. It's how you communicate like a man with depth, a man who doesn't need to say much, because every word carries weight. So before you send your next message, ask yourself, does this open a question in her mind? Does it make her want to respond? If not, you're not sparking curiosity. You're just sending noise, and remember, curiosity is a door. You don't need to force it open, you just need to know how to unlock it. And when you do it right, she'll walk through it on her own. Part 2. Texts that create anticipation. Do you know what makes a woman think about you even when you're not around? It's not your looks. It's not a sweet message, it's anticipation. Anticipation is a unique emotion. It doesn't happen while you're together. It happens when you're not there, when you're about to say something but you haven't. When she feels something exciting is coming, but doesn't yet know what. And if you can create that feeling, you don't need to text all day. Just a few lines, and she'll unlock her phone more times than you'd ever expect. So where does anticipation come from? Dopamine, the brain chemical linked to pleasure, reward, and motivation. It's not just triggered when we get what we want, it's even stronger when we're waiting for something good. It's that buzz before your birthday, the flutter before a first date. The thrill right before opening a surprise, that moment of, I don't know what's coming, but it feels good. That's what sticks. And in texting, you can create that exact feeling if you understand timing and know when to hold back. Most men kill anticipation without even realizing it. They say, I've got a surprise for you. I planned something amazing for our date tonight. It sounds sweet, but here's the problem. There's nothing left to imagine. You spark the flame, then dump water on it. No build-up, no suspense. No emotional pull. Now, try this instead. I saw something today that totally reminded me of you. Want to guess what it was? I just realized something about you. But if I say it, you won't believe me. You're not giving her everything. You're inviting her into a light, emotional game. And the magic is, even if you don't text her again for a while, she's still thinking about that message. You've left a mental hook in her mind. Stoic philosophy teaches us something powerful. Learn to delay gratification. Epictetus said, self-restraint is the highest strength, and that applies to texting too. You don't need to reveal everything at once. You don't need to prove yourself in a single message. You just need to hold back a little. Keep her hovering at that edge of wanting to know more. This isn't manipulation. It's rhythm. It's how your presence carries more weight. Not by saying more, but by knowing when to say it and when to wait. Practical example. If she asks, tell me, what was it? Don't answer directly. Say, I could, but where's the fun in that? Take one more guess. What you're doing is stretching the moment of connection. You're not replying, you're inviting, you're letting her imagination join you, even before the meetup happens. Here's the truth. Women don't remember every message, but they do remember how a message made them feel. If your texts make her feel excited, curious, or even a little on edge, she'll start looking forward to hearing from you. Not out of politeness, but because of emotion. But to do this well, you need self-control. Don't rush. Don't flood her inbox. Don't fear silence. Use silence to your advantage. Stoicism doesn't tell you to be cold or robotic. It teaches this. Don't let emotion control action. Use action to guide emotion. And in texting, that means don't chase. Don't beg for attention. Don't over-explain. Just create emotion and let that keep her coming back. Before you hit send, ask yourself, does this message make her look forward to the next one? Am I saying just enough while leaving room for her imagination? Am I guiding emotion or reacting out of impatience? Final thought. You don't have to be the funniest guy. You don't have to be rich or smooth with words. You just need to understand this. People remember emotions, not information. And the man who knows how to plant emotion will never be forgotten. Part 3. Compliments that women remember. There's a common myth that if you just give a woman a compliment, she'll instantly like you. You might have tried it before. You send something like, "You're so pretty. You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. I can't take my eyes off you." And then, nothing. Or worse, a polite thanks, followed by total silence. Why? Because most compliments like that don't touch anything deeper inside her. They're generic. Predictable. They sound like a copy-paste version of what she's already heard 100 times. They don't stand out. They don't make her pause. They don't make her feel seen. A powerful compliment reflects real observation. It's not what any guy could say. It's not about trying to win her over. It comes from something much rarer, genuine presence. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "Praise not what is common, but what is rare." And in a woman, the rarest qualities aren't her looks. It's the calm in her eyes, the way she listens without interrupting, or how she stands firm in what she believes, even when misunderstood. The compliments that stay with a woman aren't about appearance. They're about mindset, presence, and energy. Examples. I really like the way you think. You don't see the world like most people do. There's something effortless in how you make others feel at ease. That's rare. I respect how calm you stay under pressure. It's grounding just being around you. When you say something like that, you're not just complimenting her, you're reflecting a part of her most people don't even notice. More importantly, these compliments reveal something about you. They show. You don't just notice beauty, you notice depth. You're not pulled in by surface. You pay attention to the details. You don't need to perform because you value what's real. That sets you apart from 99% of men. But timing matters too. A compliment at the right moment is 10 times more powerful than a random one. If she shares something personal, a fear, a goal, a difficult experience, pay attention. And if you really feel something, say it. I respect your discipline. A lot of people talk about dreams, but you're actually living them. Not many people have the courage to be that open. That takes strength, even if others don't see it. When you compliment from awareness, not from a need for approval, she feels it instantly. And when that happens, she's not just listening, she's remembering you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life." That applies to how you speak too. The quality of your words reflects the quality of your attention. Skip the empty lines like, "You're beautiful," if you can't say why. Instead, try something like, "There's something about your eyes that feels calm, like they've seen a lot, but still stay soft." The way you walk into a room, confident but not arrogant, it shifts the energy and people feel it. And most importantly, the right compliment isn't meant to impress. It's not about being liked, it's about showing that you truly see someone. Before you send your next compliment, ask yourself, is this based on something I actually observed? Does it highlight something unique, not just attractive? If she's heard 100 compliments before, what makes this one worth remembering? Final thought. Anyone can compliment a woman, but only a few can do it with depth, intention, and precision. And the man who does that, he's not just liked, he's respected. He's remembered. Part 4. The message that makes her feel truly seen. There's something women rarely say out loud, but once you hit the nerve, she'll remember you for a long time. It's the feeling of being understood without having to explain herself. Being seen, deeply, gently, without judgment. And here's the magic. You can spark that feeling with just a single line of text. Picture this. She just posted a smiling photo. Everyone's flooding in with comments. "You look gorgeous. So cute. Who's making you smile like that?" Sweet, sure, but predictable. And forgettable. Now try this message. "That smile looks beautiful, but something about your eyes tells me you're a bit tired today. Am I wrong?" That one line, if sent at the right moment, might stop her in her tracks. Because for the first time all day, someone saw what she was hiding. Why does this matter? Because every emotion is searching for a mirror. When someone feels accurately reflected, not dismissed, not misread, they connect, they open up. And women don't bond through logic. They bond through feeling. To put it simply, a woman may not remember what you said, but she'll remember how you made her feel. So how do you create that seen feeling? You don't need to be a psychologist, you just need to pay attention. Listen to the tone more than the words. Watch for the gaps between messages, not just the content. When she says, "I'm fine, really," the average guy takes it at face value. The wise one asks, "Fine, fine," or pretending to be fine. No pressure. No drama, just a soft space for her to be real. Examples of emotion-unlocking messages. You tend to go quiet when something's bothering you. Today feels like one of those days. Am I off? If you're feeling a little drained today, that's okay. You don't always have to hold it all together. What's making the strong girl hide behind that sweet smile today? Each of these is a gentle touch, not invasive, but enough to let her know someone truly cares. Golden rule: don't fix, just witness. Here's where most men go wrong. They rush to fix, give advice, or explain. But she doesn't want a solution. She wants a safe space to feel without being judged. You're not her therapist. You're the man who's calm enough to stay and real enough to listen. What would the Stoics say? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "To understand others is wisdom. To understand yourself is enlightenment, but to be silent at the right time, that's the highest form of connection." Sometimes, one quiet message with the right question can unlock more than 10 long paragraphs ever could. What will she remember? Not that you're better looking, not that you texted more, but that, in a world full of surface compliments, you were the first one to see what others missed. You don't need to fully understand women. You just need to show her that, even if you smile at the world, I still see the tear hiding in your eyes. Before sending your next message, ask yourself, am I trying to fix her emotions or holding space for them to breathe? Am I truly curious or just craving a reply? If I were her, would I feel heard? Because in the end, you may not be the first guy she talks to today. But if you're the one who made her feel genuinely seen, you'll be the one she thinks about the most. Part 5. The text that triggers a meant-to-be feeling. There's a kind of message that makes her feel like you're not just some guy she just met, but someone who was supposed to walk into her life a long time ago. It's not a pickup line, it's not sweet talk, it's a strange but familiar feeling. We've met before, maybe in another life. Think about this. Have you ever met someone for the first time, but it felt oddly familiar? She says something, and you think, that's exactly how I feel. She falls silent, and instead of awkwardness, you feel calm, like two souls just reunited through a door that was never fully closed. Psychologically, this is called the implicit similarity effect. When someone reflects an experience or inner thought you've buried deep inside, your brain flags them as familiar, and the bond forms faster than time ever could. If you can trigger that through a simple text, you don't need to be mysterious, you don't need to try hard, you just need to tune into the same frequency. Examples of messages that awaken that meant-to-be sensation. I'm not sure why, but there's something about you that feels strangely familiar. It's weird. Every time we talk, it reminds me of those quiet nights from childhood, calm and unforgettable. If soul frequencies were a thing, you'd be broadcasting on the exact one I've been searching for. These aren't meant to impress. They're meant to tap into something she already feels, but can't put into words. The principle is, don't try to be special on your own. Make her feel like you're both special together. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs to feel that with you, a hidden part of her wakes up. The Stoics didn't believe in blind fate, but Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Whatever happens is necessary, so love it as if you had chosen it." In texting, you don't have to talk about destiny, but you can awaken the feeling that we didn't meet by accident. A simple way to do this Share a deeply personal thought, but leave it open for her to enter. Have you ever felt like someone just walks into your life and everything feels like it's been waiting for them? Do you believe some people make us feel calm, even before we really know them? You don't need her to answer logically. You just need to touch the layer she rarely reveals to anyone. Because when a woman feels like she's found someone on her wavelength, she doesn't need a reason to reply. She texts back because she wants to stay in that feeling, because deep down, you're no longer a stranger. You're someone who just feels right. Before you send your next message, ask yourself, does this awaken that we've known each other before feeling? Will it make her pause, read it again, and feel something soften inside? Am I trying to impress her or connect with her? To wrap it up, you don't need to say, I'm your destiny. You just need to make her feel it, without knowing why. And often, the feelings we can't explain are the ones we can't walk away from. Part 6. How a man's focus makes him unforgettable. Have you ever noticed that women are rarely attracted to the man who's always available? The guy who's always online, replying within 5 seconds. It's not because they enjoy playing games. It's because being too available often signals something deeper, a lack of direction. A high-value man isn't always present. Not because he's ignoring her, but because he's busy building something greater than himself. Every message you send reflects the life you live. When your day is full of purpose, whether it's working, training, learning, or pursuing something meaningful, your words carry weight. Women don't just read your texts, they feel the energy behind them. Compare this. Hey, I'm just waiting for my coffee. Thought of you versus just finished pitching a new idea, exhausted but excited. Funny enough, you cross my mind in the middle of it. One sounds like you have time to kill. The other sounds like you have a life worth living, and she's a part of it, not the center of it. One of the most attractive traits a man can develop is intense focus on his own mission. He doesn't need to say, I'm ambitious or I'm busy, because his presence, or lack of it, already speaks volumes. Women are drawn to focus, not the kind that's cold and distant, but the kind that's grounded, purpose-driven, and unapologetically centered. It makes them ask, what is it that he's so passionate about? Why doesn't he chase after me? Yet I find myself wanting to know more. This isn't manipulation. It's human psychology. What's rare is often seen as valuable, what's always there, easy to ignore. In Stoicism, this inner state is called ataraxia, a calm stillness, free from external disturbance. When a man enters a relationship with ataraxia, he doesn't seek validation. He radiates presence rather than chasing attention. Let's compare two types of texts. Type 1. Hey, where are you? You didn't reply. Type 2. This morning's workout had me reflecting on something you said. Didn't hit me at the time, but you were absolutely right. Type 1 sounds reactive and needy. Type 2 is deliberate, reflective, and carries depth. Try messages like these. Just finished a sunrise workout. Thought of you while stretching. Got a big pitch tonight. If it goes well, I'll give you a call after 9. They're light, respectful, and still show you care. But your world doesn't revolve around her, and that is what makes her stop and think. Because when a man is walking a path he believes in, people want to walk with him, not because he pulls them in, but because his strength and direction become magnetic. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She just needs to feel like being with you means entering something grounded, real, and worth exploring. Before sending your next message, ask yourself, does this message reflect a life with purpose? Am I sharing from fullness or trying to fill a void? Does this show I'm a man with goals or just someone waiting for a response? Final reminder, Don't try to be the perfect man in someone else's eyes. Be the man who lives aligned with his own vision, and she won't be able to look away. Now, let's take a step back and look at this journey. We began with a simple, all too familiar moment. You send a text and wait. And each part of this video, each insight, each phrase has led you to a deeper truth. A message isn't just words on a screen. It's a reflection of who you are. If you text from fear of being forgotten, she will feel it. If you text from a place of calm, depth, and self-possession, she will feel that too. In a world where hundreds of texts fly back and forth each day, the man who knows how to pause before he speaks, who creates space instead of filling it, who asks instead of always telling, that man stands out, not because he's playing games, but because he's emotionally mature. You don't need to become cold. You don't need a list of magic lines to memorize. You simply need to become the kind of man whose every message carries presence, calm energy, and a quiet confidence that says, I know who I am. And I don't need to prove it. Because in the end, what makes a woman think about you isn't the emoji you used or how fast you replied. It's the feeling she gets when she reads what you said. Curiosity, connection, respect, and sometimes a little bit of longing, because deep down she knows men like you don't come around often. So the next time you're about to type something, ask yourself, will this message make me more memorable? If yes, send it. If not, live a little more, then speak. Because the unforgettable man isn't the one who texts the most. He's the one whose words echo, even when he's silent. If something shifted inside you after hearing this, it's not because you learned how to text. It's because you're becoming the kind of man whose messages can't be copied. And that kind of power doesn't need to shout. It just can't be ignored. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll keep sharing real, practical wisdom to help you grow, connect deeper, and become truly irreplaceable. Are you ready for the next chapter? Let me know if you want a visual outro, call to action text for YouTube, or short versions for shorts or Instagram captions.